I have heard a lot of ideas about how we can cut the budget in West Virginia, how we can raise taxes in West Virginia. Yeah, I have not heard anything about how to increase revenue. I haven't heard any ideas about jobs. I have heard how they want to cut taxes for the rich more. We need to make it a place where businesses feel like they can do business. And the fact is that we keep giving the businesses all these tax cuts, and our jobs have only decreased. We've lost more jobs since they've started giving them these tax breaks and stuff. So it's not, it hasn't helped at all. They have not held them accountable. Now I know if you want to get food stamps or any kind of assistance like that, you have to have, you have to show that you're looking for work. You have to, you might even have to take a drug test. So my question is are we drug testing these companies? Are we drug testing them? Are we, doing checkups to make sure that they're supplying the jobs? Because the way I see it is, this was a business transaction. We gave them money so they could give us jobs. Now, we did our end of the bargain, and they didn't back theirs up. We still need the jobs. So what are we going to do? They don't have ideas. They don't have ideas that that are original, that help us. See, all the ideas that these politicians have, it's to help corporations, which is, it doesn't help us. And when you're taxing us and you're taking the taxes out of our money, you got to do something to help give us money to tax. So either the minimum wage is going to have to go up. A lot of people say fight for 15. I say here, fight for 20. I'm not going to ask for 15 and walk away with 12. I say ask for 20. Maybe we can make up some of the wealth that has been stolen away, because they've extracted the wealth of the people already. That's since the beginning of West Virginia. That's what they've done. They bought the land for just pennies, basically. Stole it away from the people. Then they made those people work in the mines for no money while they extracted the wealth that was underneath those, underneath the land. We didn't get to see any of that. And yet they still continue to extract wealth from us. And now that the coal's drying up, well, who's left? What are we going to extract wealth from? Well, it's going to be the people. And they've done that. And you got people out there that's borrowing money. They've got loans out. They've got credit card debt. And so they've extracted basically our future wealth. And now they're coming back and they're coming for your kids' wealth, because they want to cut school funding, which makes school like insanely more expensive. But also they want to shut down every single college except for WVU and Marshall, because they've made their campaign donations, and so they'll stay open. But it's the rest of the schools that, the black colleges that are here. Sorry, that bit of history's gone. If you're going to any kind of technical school or community college, sorry, you're gonna have to travel to WVU or Marshall now. And that's just for the people that's actually in school, because we have one of the worst rates of college, graduates in the United States. But let's make it harder for people who go to college, right? Because the way they see it is, we don't need college because they don't need us educated. Even though that's what businesses look for when they're wanting to set up a new business, they look for the most educated, because that's where they don't want idiots running their company. Okay? So they go where the education is. It's not here. Not here. And they don't plan on it. Now, they won't cut any funding to the police or to the military or anything like that, because they fully expect to be using them Okay? They fully expect to be harassing people, locking people up over stupid crap. So, I mean, Prezioso's already said, you know, he has no intention of cutting funding to military and police, but he does want to cut funding to the School for the Deaf and Blind. So that's where our priorities are at. And they're just like, well, I don't know, what are we going to do? There's nothing we can do. Well, how about this? Legalize marijuana. First of all, we have it's racist. It's a racist law. It's used, it was created, this is proven, this is fact. It was created as a deterrent from the Nixon campaign to demonize the left, the anti-war movement, and to demonize black people, because those were his two main enemies. And so he took the information that he got about marijuana, you know, he threw out that report and said it was dangerous, and then, you know, and this is where we're at. We have, as a percentage, black people make up like half of our jails here, yet they're only like 3% of our population. How does that work? How does that work? Shouldn't they only be like 3% of the, I mean, we commit crimes at the same rate, so why is it that they're being locked up and not more of us? I mean, I don't think really, I'd like to see less people locked up, but and I think all the money that we would save there, the money that we could save on policing, or that they could use to actually like police their areas well, because I know a lot of these places, a lot of the police are underfunded, and when you're underfunded, it kind of stresses you out. And when you get stressed out, maybe you don't make the best decisions. Okay, so I say, you know, let's make their jobs easier. What else? I mean, the opiate epidemic. See, right here, I've got, this is basically what we have that's the problem with our economy. Okay, now, we don't have very many people, so that right there is gonna hurt us, because, you know, if you're a company, you're want to go where there's the most amount of people to sell to. It's an older population. Usually, you know, we're usually in our most people are in their 40s or over. Like I said, low rate of college degrees, and it's kind of one of those like self-perpetuating cycles that we have where we don't have any jobs, so we don't have any money. And if people don't have money, you're not going to take your business where people can't spend money in your business. So that's kind of like, I don't know what the word is for it, but you know, it just it feeds on itself. Also, the poor access to healthcare, especially mental health care. And it's kind of hard to hold down a job if you're not healthy, and you know, physically or mentally. And if we get some preventative care in there, we can help people before they get to the point where they're disabled or you know can't work. The addiction is killing us, literally. It's kind of hard to work when you're addicted to heroin. And the fact that not only do we have a low population, but we're spread out into more remote rural areas, so we're not just all in one area to where you can sell to. On top of that, we have our employment rate usually hangs out around 50%. A quarter of us are unemployed, and then another quarter is on SSI, which isn't known for paying well. You can barely survive on it most of the time. So all these things are coming together to really screw up our economy, and legalizing marijuana would totally fix a lot of these things. Now, as far as like age-wise, so if we have a lot of people in SSI, that means we need the workforce to be young and to be paying into it. And we don't have that. We don't have anybody paying into it. We have people using it, which isn't a problem, but as long as we have people working. Now, if you want to bring people in, legalize marijuana. That would bring in, huge amount of our youth. On top of that, you could have businesses that could just open up. That starts the cycle of getting other businesses to come in, because now we have people that have jobs, we have people that have money, and so now these other people are going to want to come in to benefit from that, which will bring in even more jobs. And the trickle down on this is amazing. The businesses that would benefit that already exist, hotel, restaurants, tourism, would boom. And that's one of the things that Jim Justice loves, is he loves to say tourism. So they're looking at revenues of it, just in-state was like 50 million, but if you take into account the other states around us, out-of-state spending in West Virginia, you're looking at a conservative 250 million. And I have an idea that it would probably be more than that, but I mean, that's more than enough than what we need. And this is something that, we already have. It's not like a business that you're going to have to like sink a whole bunch of money into. It's relatively cheap startup. Like I said, and now here's the thing, and a lot of people would be saying that, like, oh, so we have a drug problem, so you want to bring more drugs in? The thing is, marijuana actually prevents people from becoming opiate addicts or dependent on it. Because let's say you have pain. Well, if you have mouth pain, you can use the medical marijuana for that. But if it's something where you absolutely have to take opiates, you, instead of taking an extremely high dose of it, if it's used in combination with marijuana, see, it doesn't interact in any way in your body with each other, except it has this effect where the pain relief is like, twice as much as what it would be by you're taking half the medicine and getting twice the benefit. So, that helps these people from having to take these heavy duty, opiates. On top of that, you've got people that are already addicts, right? And it's been proven that marijuana helps people wean off of the opiates. And the thing is, people want to say that marijuana is a gateway drug. Gateway out. It's the gateway out. It's not the gateway in. Just the possibilities are endless with this. And like I said, it's a relatively cheap startup. And I know Governor Justice said that he wants to put money into agriculture. He's an ag guy. So this seems like it would be right up his alley. Agriculture, tourism. I know those are all things that he's talked about in the past. So we need to get on this. We need to stay up to date. We're behind the times. It's an outdated way to think. It's a racist law. It hurts the people of West Virginia. We're locking people up for no reason when they haven't done any kind of violent crime whatsoever. We need to have some compassion, and we need to help these people. And this is the best way, the fastest way. And I know that they're risk takers. These politicians are risk takers. I mean, they want to get rid of the income tax. So they can be bold when they want to. I mean, they can take risks when they want to. This isn't a risk. Legalizing marijuana isn't a risk. Maybe politically because they think that people are against it, but the overwhelming amount of people really want this. They have the internet. They know now. We know. And you should too. That marijuana isn't some big evil scary thing. And it actually could be the thing that helps West Virginia. So please, please, please consider this.